Hi all, good morning, good evening. Welcome to day 3 of the exclusive training provided by Isha Training Solutions, Generative AI in Software Testing, where we are going to learn how to leverage Gen AI in the field of functional testing and automation testing. Right, everyone? So in the previous session, we have gone through like how do LLMs work. We saw the transformer architecture. We understood how the transformer architecture works. And then I gave you a brief introduction to prompts and what is prompt engineering, what is the objective of prompt engineering, right? We saw all those things. So before I start for the day, anyone has any queries from the previous session? Anyone? Anyone has any queries from the previous session?
Yeah. Hello,
Yes, please
Chandra.
tell me. Yeah, please tell me.
Yeah. Hi. Can you please share the YouTube video of yesterday's recording?
I think it is
Sorry, I
already
wasn't
shared. I think it is already shared.
in the WhatsApp group. Okay, I'll
Yes,
check that.
in the WhatsApp group, the playlist link has been shared. In the
All
playlist
right.
link, you will find all the videos at one place.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
you will find the demo session, the day 1, the day 2, and today's session will also be uploaded to the same link. Team will update
Sure,
that in
sir.
the group as well once done.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you. Any other queries, anyone? So I'll take it as a no. So let me start sharing my screen. We'll proceed with today's session, everyone. Hope my screen is visible to all of you. Can all of you see my screen? Can anyone confirm?
Yes.
Okay,
Visible.
thank you. So we had seen about the prompts. Then I had just given you the overview, like what are the limitations of LLMs. What is LLM, guys? What is the full form of LLM? Anyone? Large language model, right?
Yeah, model,
So
yeah.
yeah, there are two different types of language models: large language model and small language model. So we are understanding about the large language model. So LLMs can work very well, guys, but they to have some limitations. The limitations are basically cognitive constraints, security risks, privacy, and legal concerns. Now, what is cognitive constraints? Like we have artificial intelligence. People assume that the artificial intelligence tools will act as human beings. They will be able to respond as human beings. But remember, the human brain does the processing in a different way, and the LLMs do the processing in a different way, right? So they are different from the human beings. They will perceive the information, they will process the information differently from the human beings. So as a result, the output, whatever the AI models are going to generate, that will be limited as compared to the human brain. The human brain can think in a lot of directions. The analysis skills will be higher, right? In the age of, as I told you, we are living in the age of weak AI or artificial narrow intelligence, right? So the LLMs could make mistakes, guys. They could make mistakes. They could produce fake information. If you ask a fact, they could also produce some fact which is not actually correct, which is not true. A fact is always true, right? But AI models might generate some facts which might not actually be true. And that is a limitation, guys, because based on the training data, if whatever training data set was used, based on that they will provide the information. Now I will introduce another term to you guys. We had learned about bias, right? We had learned about bias. Another one is hallucination. Hallucination. So what will happen is, if you ask any fact to the LLM models, they will produce the facts. Now, in case the fact is incorrect, the AI model is not going to tell you that it is incorrect, right? It will produce the fake fact and it will make you believe, right? It will make you believe. So what did you do? You believed something which is not correct. Means it hallucinated you, right? But it is not intentionally done, right? That AI model was trained on some data. Based on the data set, whatever it has been trained, it is producing that result. Or it could also generate bias response, right? It could also generate bias response, which we saw some examples yesterday, guys. So it has some cognitive constraints. Oh, clear, all of you? So they are not able to process things like human beings. They might process differently from human beings, and as a result, they might not always produce correct information. And all of you remember, any AI model you use, every AI model will have a disclaimer that whatever output it is generating, that may not be factually correct. You need to verify the output as human beings. Understood, everyone? So as on today, any AI model you use, the output which will be generated by the AI model might not be 100% correct. That is where the role of human beings play an important, a role, where they have to verify the output. Clear? Next one is, guys, security. So nowadays we have a lot of risks with respect to security, right? Nowadays we have a lot of threats with respect to security, where we have, cyber threats in place. Nowadays so many cyber threats, cyber crimes are happening, so we have to be very much vigilant. Now LLMs are also not immune to these security risks, guys. Okay, the the nature of LLMs might be complex, but this complex nature do not make them immune to the security risks. They could also be susceptible, they could also be vulnerable. So there could be cyber threats, and they could, completely destroy or destruct the AI model. They can be tricked, they can be misused, they can be attacked, right? So there are security risks as well associated with LLMs. Clear, everyone? Then there are privacy and legal concerns also. Now AI models, they can store data, and they will utilize the input data. So whenever you are providing any input data to the AI model, you as a user, you have to be very careful that you are not disclosing any confidential data. You are not entering any confidential data into the AI model, guys. Whenever you are using any AI model inside your project, please check with your project team, please check with your project manager if you are allowed to use all the data, if you are not allowed to use all the data, what care you have to take. Those all things you need to check, guys. Clear, everyone? So privacy and legal concerns are there. All of you clear? You need to be very much careful what input data you are using. You need to use the AI models with full responsibility. You need to comply with the legal regulations. Okay, so whenever you are using LLMs, you need to take care of these things, guys. Are all of you clear? Any queries on this? Okay, if no queries, we will go to the next slide. So here we are going to see, we understood about the limitations. Now we'll see the limitations in details, right? We'll see the limitations in details. Clear, everyone? So cognitive constraints, and it is a limitation. Now, as I told you, the LLMs process the data differently from human beings. We have emotions, right? We have, as human beings, we have emotions. Do you guys agree with me that our thought process will depend on the situation we are in, on the emotional feeling we have? If we are feeling positive, if we are feeling negative, will our thought process change accordingly or not?
Yes, it get
All of you?
changed.
It will change,
Yeah.
right? Based on your situation, based on your situation at a particular time, based on your emotions, based on your thought process, your your decision making will change. Similarly, your learning ability also depends on that. But the LLMs, remember, guys, they do not have any feeling. They do not have any emotions. If you ask any AI model, do you have any emotions? They will say you, no, I do not have any emotions, guys. Let me show you one thing. So, do you have any emotion? See, what did it tell you guys? I don't have emotions like a human being, but it can understand and respond to the emotions in a conversation. Okay. If you ask it to crack a joke, it will crack a joke for you. If you ask something, it will definitely generate it for you, but it does not have any emotions. Okay. When we are basically analyzing as human beings, right? We can detect noise, right? Whenever we are speaking or someone is speaking to us, we can understand what is a noise. Noise means disturbance for us, right? The other person, when it is conversing with us, we can understand whether it is, doing it in a positive way or in a negative way with us. We can understand more concepts, we can understand visuals, right? But remember, means we can learn during that process. Whenever we are conversing, during that process itself we can learn. But LLMs do not learn during the process. I had told you yesterday, right? LLMs will not learn during that particular process. Whatever they have learned from the previously trained data, whatever pattern they have learned, they will produce the output based on that only. Now they can play the role of someone during a conversation. Okay, the AI models can play the role of someone, like they can act as a doctor, they can act as an engineer, they can act as a lawyer, they can act as a content writer. Okay, if they have the training data on that, means if they have been trained with the data related to doctor. Now for example, any AI model has not been trained on medical data, and if you ask that AI model to become a doctor, then it will definitely produce erroneous results, guys. Okay, I'll show you how can we make an AI model to act as a particular character. Okay, so remember, there will be no conversation or there will be no learning for the AI model during our interaction. So one example, guys, you must have seen different chatbots today, right? So many products have chatbots today, means you type a message, they will respond to you. Do you feel that whatever question you ask them, do you get the proper answer in the chatbots? I think you all will say no. Or do you feel that yes, they are mature enough, they are able to respond to all the questions? No, right? Do you all understand what is a chatbot? Chat support, you understand? Different products have chat support nowadays, right? Am I audible, everyone?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So the chatbots will not be able to respond to all your queries. They also have been trained on particular data. So whatever data they have been trained on, the response will be based on that. Okay, so non-human cognition means the LLMs are not able to think like human beings. Okay, they are not able to, they do not have any emotions, they do not have feelings, they were not going to be able to learn like human beings. So this is non-human cognition. Clear? So the next cognitive constant is hallucination. I told you hallucination, right? So AI models can produce some output which can trick you, right? It will be producing some output. It is a made up, that content would be completely fake, but it will appear to you as if that it is true, guys. So nowadays there are so many real users, right? But they may be laymen, they are not very much aware of the technicalities. Now if any layman will go and use any AI model, just imagine, guys, any layman goes and uses an AI model and sees a output. Now in WhatsApp, for example, we have Meta AI, right? And people will think that, okay, I can do so many things with Meta AI. Meta AI will generate the output. So people might think that whatever output it generates is factually correct, but that might not be factually correct. So the AI model could trick, right? It could trick the people, guys. But remember, most of the times, okay, most of the times the AI models will be correct. The output they are going to generate will be correct. If the data which you are asking, the output which you are trying to generate is after the knowledge cutoff date, it will produce one message that as on this particular date, I have this information. But it can also create hallucinations. Okay, grammatically they will be very much correct. The meaning and all those things will be there, but sometimes the predictions are not always correct, guys. So that is known as hallucination. So hallucination can happen because of incorrect input from the user, not proper inputs from the user, or because of the features of the LLM which it has inherited during the programming and all. Okay, so you will can have hallucinations. Then biased outputs. I told you biased outputs, right? So based on the training data, whatever it was modeled on, like yesterday I showed you an example. I asked the AI model to generate the images of people writing with right hand, right? Generate the images of people writing with right hand. But what did it do? It generated the images of people. Sorry, I asked the AI model to generate the images of people who are writing with left hand. But what did it do? It generated the images of people who are writing with right hand only, because it has been trained in such a way that, and it is a general perception for the AI model that people usually write with right hand. Even though I asked it to generate the images for left hand, it generated the images for right hand. So that is basically a biased output. When I asked about nurse, right, it basically assumed that female gender, right, female gender are usually nurse. But nowadays in hospitals you will see male attendants as well as female attendants taking care of the patients, right? So that is one thing, guys. So that is an example of biasness. It assumed that it is a female profession, right? So both men and women work as nurse. So all of you understood what is the difference between hallucination and biased? What is the difference between hallucination and bias? There is a difference, guys. Hallucination means it will produce some facts which are not factually correct. Okay, and but it will trick you. It will make you appear as if it has generated the correct one, and it might be difficult for you to also find out whether it is correct or not. But biased means based on the training data it has undergone, it will generate some output which is not correct actually. Okay, then we have the next point is lack of knowledge. Lack of knowledge. If any AI model has not been trained on a particular data set, any, let's say you are trying to check the health records. Okay, you are trying to ask AI model that you have a medical report. Based on the parameters what you have got, you ask the AI model whether the results which I have in the health report, are they good or are they bad. But if that AI model has not been trained on health records, medical data, it will not be able to produce the correct output, right? Because it has not been trained on that. It has lack of knowledge on medical data, health data. Understood, everyone? So that is lack of knowledge. Similarly, anything, let's say you are asking an AI model any information which is after the knowledge cutoff date of the AI model, then in that case also it will not be able to generate the correct one. So again, in that case also lack of knowledge is there. Are all of you clear? So that is lack of knowledge. So anything which has happened after the knowledge cutoff date, the AI model will not be having the answer. And in that case, if it is trying to generate any output, it could be the hallucination. It could be the hallucination. Okay. Next. So the next, nature of outcome. Okay, nature of outcome. Remember guys, for the same input, most of the people have one understanding that if I give the same input to the AI model at different times, it will generate the same output. No guys, the nature of outcome will differ even if you are providing the same input guys. At different times, the nature of the output which is generated by the AI model will differ even if you are providing the same input. You will write, let's say, same prompt, same instruction, okay, to the same AI model. Okay, in that case, you will see that the output would be different. Here, the different wording will be there, different style will be there, but the main theme, the main meaning, the main sense would remain the same, guys. Let's say, guys, I showed you that you can regenerate the response, right? So let's say you have asked the AI model any information. Like here you see, do you have emotion, right? Do you have emotion? This is the output which it produced. This is the output which it produced. Let me note it down for your reference. Now all of you see, this is the output which it produced. Now if I go and try to regenerate this, if I go and try to regenerate this, now you see, are both the outputs same? All of you, are both the outputs same? This is one output, this is another output. Please read it. Are both the same, both of these them same or identical? No, right? But the input is same or not? Same input, right? Do you have any emotion? I just try to regenerate the response. But if you read them through, the meaning, right, coming out of it, the main core meaning coming out of both of them would be the same. But the AI model will generate new words, new responses. Understood, everyone? So this is our nature of outcome. All of you clear? So these are the cognitive constraints, guys. Non-human cognition, hallucination, biased output, lack of knowledge, and nature of outcome. Any queries, anyone? Any queries, anyone? Please do not hesitate to ask questions. You can ask as many questions as possible. Okay, please do not hesitate to ask questions. You can also put your question in the chat if you want. Okay, next we go to the next one, that is the security risks, guys. Okay, now security risks means basically our threats, cyber threats, right? So nowadays it is the biggest challenge, guys, right? So whenever we are doing any software development, we have so many challenges. There are security challenges. Similarly, LLMs is also part of the software development only, right? So LLMs also are prone to security risks. Now, addressing the security risk means how to make the LLM immune to the security risk is not our responsibility. That is basically the responsibility of the development team or the developers who has developed that AI model, right? It is their job to make that AI model secure. It is their job to make the AI model immune to the risks. But as a user, as a end user, it is our responsibility, right, that we should be aware of these risks. Also, if you are procuring any AI model, they should let us know that there are some security risks associated with that particular product. Okay, so in the security risk, we have some items, guys, or some uh, elements. Means what are the different types of security risks? The first security risk is jailbreak attacks. Jailbreak attacks means the LLM, let's say, is very secure, guys. Okay, the LLM is very secure. Now, there would be some restrictions. There would be some restrictions set by the development team in the AI model intentionally. There would be some restrictions set by the development team in the AI model intentionally so that they can prevent the misuse of the AI model. Okay, they can prevent the misuse of the AI model, but attackers can employ various tricks. Okay, attackers can employ various tricks. They can give different combinations of prompts. They can write some code and all to basically break that, okay, restriction. They they will basically put some content, they will try to violate the guidelines. Okay, so that is the example of a jailbreak attack. So trying to break the resistance, okay, trying to break the restriction of the AI model is the jailbreak attack, guys. Next, prompt injection. Okay, in security testing or we have you know vulnerability injection, guys. When people are doing security testing, they will try to inject malicious code into the software, right? And try to see if that is breaking or not. Similarly, in case of LLM also, they will try to inject prompts. Okay, they will try to inject erroneous prompts, tricky prompts, so as to manipulate the ALM. Okay, because based on the prompts the output will be generated. Okay, now for example, there is a customer support chatbot. Now you are not the real user, you are, let's say, one hacker. You will write some prompts in such a way that you will try to trick the AI model, and you are trying to retrieve some information, personal information of a customer, and you will trick the AI model using the chatbot, and you will be able to extract the information. So that is basically known as prompt injection. Okay, that is the example of prompt injection. So if the AI model which you are using is not secure enough, if the AI model which you are using is not secure enough, then it could disclose the sensitive information, guys. Okay, this code, it could basically generate the sensitive information. Then the next one is data poisoning. Data poisoning. One thing I told you guys, the output which will be generated by the LLMs will primarily depend on the training data, right? Whatever data set they have been trained on, their output will depend on the training data. Now, if I make the training data corrupt, or if I make the training data malicious, right? If I upload um, hateful content, okay, if I upload hateful content in the training data, if I upload harmful content in the training data, so what will happen, guys? Will it influence the behavior of the AI model or not? Will it influence the output of the AI model or not? Definitely, right? Because I have corrupted the training data, I have manipulated the training data. Based on the training data only, the output of the AI model will come up, guys. Understood? So if anyone tries to poison the data or training data, then that output of the AI model gets manipulated. Okay, so that is why it is very, very important that it is being taken care that data poisoning is not happening. Okay, data poisoning is not happening. So data poisoning means the training data itself is poisoned, the training data itself is made hateful, harmful, malicious, so that the it will impact or influence the output of the AI model. Am I clear, everyone? Any queries, anyone? Any queries on security risks? No? Okay. Then we have another limitation of LLM, that is the privacy and legal concerns. Privacy and legal concerns. Nowadays, copyright violations are happening, right? Copyright violations are happening. Now, remember, guys, whenever you want to use any AI model in your project, please take necessary approval from your project manager. Okay, like let's say you're now, for example, you are the employee of an organization. Okay, just understand it, guys. You are the employee of an organization. Your organization has procured one AI model. Okay, now you are working for another client. As part of your organization, there is a project for which you are working. So that is a different customer, right? Or the different organization for which you are working. Now, sometimes you might think that your organization has already procured this AI model, but your client or your customer does not have any AI model in place. So you will try to use the AI model of your organization for your project related activities. Who can tell me, is that allowed, guys? What do you think? Is that allowed? Should you do that? Did all of you understand the problem statement? Are you allowed to do that?
No, it cannot be allowed.
Sorry?
I think it cannot be allowed.
It cannot be allowed. You are perfectly right. That is not allowed actually.
Yes.
However, in case, you want to use, you have to take the approval of your project manager. First of all, it should not be allowed, guys. It should not be used in that way. However, if you take utmost care, okay, if you take utmost care not to reveal any customer information to the AI model, okay, not to reveal any customer information to the AI model, not to reveal any project information to the AI model. You have to be very, very careful. But even before doing that, you need to take the approval of your project manager or delivery manager. Understood, everyone? So now, so in the privacy and legal concerns, we have data privacy concerns. Okay. Remember, you should not enter any sensitive data to any LLM. Do not send sensitive data over LLM. You should not expose sensitive data. You should not enter any sensitive data. You should not enter any confidential data. Otherwise, it will lead to breach of data security, right? It will lead to data breach of data privacy. And you can basically get penalized. Remember, whatever output you are getting, right, it is your responsibility, that because you have given the input. So as a user, it is completely your responsibility that what input you are trying to give to the AI model and what output you are getting from the AI model. Remember, everyone, it is your complete responsibility how to use the AI model. You should know what input to give and what output you are expecting. Clear, everyone? That is very, very important, guys. So never disclose any sensitive information. If you have signed any NDA, non-disclosure agreement, right, you are not allowed to basically reveal any sensitive data, okay, or confidential data. If you are bound by any customer contract, you should not share that information to any AI model. Okay, that is very, very important, guys. And again, I told you, you should not share any confidential information of your client, of your project to the AI model. Financial information. You should not share any of your financial information to any of the AI models. Okay, that is very, very important, guys. Uh, then you also should not basically reveal any customer name, any client name. For example, you are trying to use the AI model of your organization to do or to get some response about the task for your project. Do not reveal the name of the customer. However, let's say it is a customer related to retail, right? So you can mention like uh, a company belonging to the retail domain. You are not disclosing the name, right? There can be so many companies working in the retail domain. So those all things you need to take care, everyone. And legal information. Do not share any legal information about your company or about your customer to the AI model. So those all things. And remember, sometimes people take advice from the AI model on legal matters. That you should not do, guys. because as I told you, there is one limitation of LLM that it could produce hallucination, right? So it will appear to you as if it is factually correct, but it might not be factually correct. So do not take any legal advice, or do not follow the legal advice generated by the AI tools. Always validate those output whatever are generated by the AI models. And remember, very, very important, follow the law of the land, right? Follow the law of the land. Do not use AI unethically. Always use it ethically, guys. Follow the rule of the law. Okay, whichever country you belong to, follow the law of the land. Clear, everyone, while using AI. That is very, very important, right? Then data regulations compliance. So there are different data regulations, right? Like GDPR, uh, then the European laws are the GDPR, and all other data regulations are in place for different countries, right? If there is any NDA or CCPA, so there are different data regulations. So you need to comply with the data regulations. You need to comply with all the existing data regulations whenever you are using AI. So data regulations means how can a means there are rules defined how the personal data can be used, guys, by any company, right? Or by any organization. So GDPR is one of the example. Then California Consumer Privacy Act, CCPA, that is another example. Another data regulation is HIPAA, right? Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. So there are different data regulation laws. So whenever you are using AI, please bear in mind that you need to align to the data regulations. Copyright concerns. Actually, when the output is generated by the AI model, that cannot be considered eligible for copyright protection because it is not created by a human author, right? Any human being is not generating the output, rather a software is generating that, AI model is generating that. So whatever content is generated by the AI model, that is not eligible for copyright protection. However, this is still being considered, guys, that whatever output AI model is generating, can that come under the purview of copyright? Okay, so for now, please ensure that you are not violating any copyright of any particular organization when you are using the AI, guys. So privacy and legal concerns are very, very important, and these are the limitations of LLM. So we saw the cognitive constraints, the security risks, and the privacy and legal concerns, guys. Anyone has having any queries on the limitations of LLMs? Any queries, anyone, on the limitations of LLMs? No? Then language model parameters. Okay, language model parameters. So this is again very, very important, guys. Language model parameters. Now, what are these language model parameters? The language model parameters can be technical and they can be behavioral. Okay, the language model parameters can be technical and can be behavioral. So in the technical parameters, we have the first one is model type and complexity. We have different AI models, for example, Chat GPT, right? Gemini, Grok, and many others, Meta AI, right? So many models are available, guys. Now, these are different products, and again, different products have different AI models. Now, remember, different models are developed for different purposes or different tasks. So what is your use case? Why you need to use AI? You need to understand that for what purpose you are trying to use AI. Okay, so when you are going to choose the AI model, so you need to see what is your task. Okay, So model, the complexity of the different models have again, a number of parameters which will influence the output of that model. Then the performance of the model is also dependent on, the different parameters. Also, what are the resource requirements? Like, for example, if it is a small language model, you will need less resources. If it is a large language model, you will need more resources. And when the models are more complicated, they can handle complex tasks. But if the models are simple, they will not be able to handle complex tasks, right? Now, if the models are more complex, they will need more computing power. They will need more resources, right, to process them. So those are also, the cost will be also more, right? So these are the different, uh, things which you need to take care in mind. Training data size and diversity. Now, whenever you are basically training the AI model with vast amount of data, the output will be more, correct. You can ask the topics from different areas to the AI model, right? You can achieve different tasks, right? Because it has been trained on a huge data set, it can basically interpret a lot of things. But SLMs, guys, they will be trained on less amount of data, so their focus will be very much restricted, right? Means the output which they will generate, that will be restricted. Understood? They will not be able to interpret much. So if you need to understand what has been the training data set which has been used, whether it is a large language model, whether it is a small language model. So based on that, the output will vary. Clear, everyone? Then consuming options and scalability, right? Consuming options and scalability. Now, how you are going to consume the model, whether you are going to use it on your cloud infrastructure, or whether you are going to leverage the API which is exposed by the AI model, whether you are going to deploy it on premise, right? So those are things, how you are going to consume the AI model. That is very, very important to understand. So based on that, you will basically choose. Now, why I am telling all these things, guys? There are so many AI models, right? There are so many AI models. How do you determine? How do you determine which model best suits you, right? So for that particular purpose, these parameters will help you to choose the right AI model for you. Clear, everyone? The consuming, how you are going to consume that AI model. Do you need the scalability feature, right? Do you need the scalability feature? If you have a lot of tasks to do, so in that case, uh, can it scale up or not? Or in the future, if your usage is going to increase on the AI front, whether the AI model can scale up or not. So those are the important things, which you need to consider, guys, when you are trying to choose a AI model for your organization. You need to educate your customer, right? You need to whenever they are trying to procure any AI model, your organization, your customer, if they are trying to procure the AI model, you need to make them educated. Next, what is the knowledge cutoff date, right? What is the knowledge cutoff? So till what date the AI model has been trained on? If you are working, let's say, on stock markets, right? If you're working on stock markets, then in that case, do you need the current data or historical data, guys? Means the knowledge cutoff date should be current or past. Anyone related to stocks? It needs to be current, right? It should be as much current as possible for stock markets. But if your objective is to analyze historical documents, right? If your objective is to analyze historical documents, then your knowledge cutoff can be based in the past also. Clear? So that is one thing which you need to take care regarding the knowledge cutoff date based on your requirement. Next one is cost, right? Everything comes at a price, right? Everything comes at a price. So whenever you are going to choose any model, please remember what is your objective, how you are going to use that, right? Because based on that only you can choose according to the cost which you can spend, right? Let's say you would have very small requirements, but you have gone for a costlier AI model, then it makes no sense, right? So you have to always assess what is your requirement, how you are going to use it, and based on that you can choose which AI model you should go for. Okay, which AI model you should go for, guys. Now, for example, what did I tell you guys? The AI models will charge on the basis of tokens, right? The license which you would have procured. So some tokens would be allocated to you. Okay, there would be some tokens allocated to you. Now, when you are thinking about the cost, you can check what is the pricing, okay, model of that particular AI model. How much they charge, means how much input, for the input how much do they charge, for the output how much do they charge for every token. Okay, based on that you can determine the cost, guys. Okay, similarly the knowledge cutoff date, whenever you can check the knowledge cutoff date of the AI model. So based on that you can take the decisions that which AI model is going to suit you the most. Okay, so these are the different technical parameters. These are the different technical parameters based on which you can choose the AI model. The next set of parameters are the behavioral parameters. How is the AI model behaving, right? Performance. When it is coming to performance, how accurate the AI model is, right? Whatever output it is producing, how much coherent, or how much it is aligning with your input, right? So whatever tasks you are providing to the AI model, how is it able to respond to you? How is it close to your expectation? So whenever anyone will try to procure the AI model, they will reach out to their sales team. The sales team will provide the demos. So during those all phases, please ensure that you are checking the performance of the AI model, if it is able to meet up to your expectations or not. Whatever tasks you are providing, whether it is able to answer those those or not, and if it is generating the expected output or not for you. Clear? So performance matters. Then transparency. Some AI models are very transparent. They will like whenever you are providing any task, how it uh, generated the output, how it came up with the solution, right? Some AI models are very, very transparent. Like for example, DeepSeek AI, right? It is completely open source. You can look into it. But some AI models, they will not reveal their algorithms. That will be completely secret, right? Or confidential. So whenever you are basically going to procure an AI model, you need to think in that way also, whether the output which is generating, or the method which it is using to generate the output, okay, are they transparent or not? Okay, so transparency is one big factor. Then bias, whether the output which the AI model is generating, whether the output is biased or not. Whenever you are evaluating any AI model, try to basically see whether the output is biased or not. You can give the prompts accordingly, right? Like for example, one example I told you yesterday. If it 2-3 examples I showed you yesterday, right? So how it can basically get biased. So in that way, you can try to evaluate the AI model and see if it is biased or not, if the output is biased or not. And security is very, very important, guys. How far the AI model is equipped, right, to prevent the misuse of it, and how far it is ensuring data privacy, right? So check all the AI models, whatever you're trying to procure, whether they are meeting the global standards or not, the data regulations or not. So all these things you need to check out, guys, when you are trying to procure any AI model. Are all of you clear? So there are different language model parameters, technical and behavioral, which will help you to determine which AI model you need to go for, guys. All of you clear, or any queries, anyone? Okay, so, and then we go to the next slide, that is the applications of AI. Okay, where the AI is getting used. AI is now getting used in a variety of industries, guys. Definitely software industry, the industry which is making the most use of AI is the software industry, right? The projects are trying to implement AI or leverage AI in different phases of SDLC, software development lifecycle, in which software testing is also one of the phase, right? And then again in software testing we have different phases. So in software testing also then AI is getting used. That is why we are undergoing this training, right? I will showcase you how generative AI can be used for your testing needs. Clear, everyone? Then healthcare. In healthcare also nowadays, the AI models are being used or LLMs are being used to see the to analyze the reports of patients. Okay, to analyze the reports of the patients by going through these reports and then come. So because they will be trained, those AI models will be trained on healthcare data, so the doctors can directly take the help of AI, and AI can predict, right, what is the disease and all based on the results, whatever it is coming in the report, and they can suggest the solutions, the medicines, right? So whatever reports are there, whatever scans are there, the AI models can analyze them and assist the clinical persons to come up with the diagnosis, guys. So in healthcare field also AI is being used. So there is a healthcare company known as Mayo Clinic. I hope you all would have heard about it. So Mayo is basically implementing AI very rigorously. Okay. Then another industry where we have application of AI is BFS, banking and financial services. So many banks, you all would have seen, they are introducing chatbots. They do not have real customer representatives or executives, so the chatbots will discuss or will converse with the real customers, and they will try to generate the financial advices, right? So how is this all happening? So they're trying to implement AI in their field as well. So in banking and financial services also, you will find that AI is being used very much rigorously, guys. Okay. Then retail industry, in retail also you will find that LLMs are being used. They will provide you the recommendations based on your usage, right? Uh, well, so vast data is available on the portals, right? So many users are using the retail applications. Based on the usage, the applications will gather that data, analyze that data with the help of AI, and they will be able to come up with better products or suggest the customers based on their needs. So these are the different industries. Similarly, education, guys, in education field also we have the usage of AI or the application of AI. People nowadays, they are going to the AI models, they are trying to learn, they are trying to understand and make it a habit to learn from AI, guys. Okay, so in the education field also we have the usage of AI. Legal sector is also using AI. They are automating the document analysis process and then suggest the solutions. Okay, legal research is being done with the help of legal sectors. So why? Because the AI, it will be difficult for a human being to analyze so many documents, but AI can come to the rescue of the legal companies. They can scan through so many documents with ease and then come up with their output. So these are the different industries. Entertainment and media, right? Netflix is a very common example, guys, and many other industries are there where AI is being used for improving the engagement with the customer. Okay, improving the user experience. All these things are being used. So AI is being used in so many industries today. Okay, so many industries. Any queries, anyone? Any queries, anyone? Okay, so if there are no queries, with this, we'll come to the end of today's session. I hope you all are enjoying the sessions. You all are able to learn from the session, which is very, very important, guys. Any queries, anyone? Okay, so with this, we'll stop the session for today. Thank you all for joining.